Hey guys, it's Sarah here from New England Junk Journals. This is another video in the Junk Journal July 2026 series. This is hosted by Debbie at Ink and Page. This is her version of Junk Journal July, and it's her digitals and prompts that I have been following along with. So for today, I have two fun spreads to do. I have prompt 7, which is postcard. And this was the digital background that she gave us for that prompt. I went ahead and printed it out, but I also printed out this gorgeous seascape because I'm going to do something a little different. You know that today I have to add on another page in our hinge journal. So what I'm going to do is actually jump and do prompt 8, which is receipt. And then, because I'm going to use some beautiful matching digitals. And then I'll do prompt 7 in here. And it's okay. We can jump around. It doesn't have to be chronological in our book. So this is going to be prompt 8. This is going to be prompt 7. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to do it off camera, but I do need to attach this here. I went ahead and reinforced this with paper tape. And I want this to be a pocket here with some journaling area inside here. Maybe put our quote down here somewhere. The quote that I've chosen is "No man is an island entire of itself" by John Donne. And I will incorporate that either in here or on a tag that we tuck in. But right now, I'm just going to get this glued down and then I'll come back and we can have a play. All right, so we have our pocket glued down here. I'm tempted to try to sew this just so that I know that it stays on. I think it should be fine. I don't really want to have any stitching on here because I'm not sure what kind of layout I want to do. So I have a bunch of items here. I've got my quote. I've got my prompt, my number. I love this. It's beautiful with this blueprint of a lighthouse. I have this. My 2 receipts that I brought, my authentic ephemera. This is a lovely merchandise receipt from H.A. Pond from East Berkshire, Vermont. So I like that. This is actually more of an invoice, but we're going to fudge it this time. This is for long distance calls and telegrams. This, I believe, was also from New Hampshire. And I think this was around the 40s, 1940s. We have this here, a little piece of invoice or receipt, a little letterhead, business information, a little washi strip, and we have this receipt here. And this is, again, this was today's printable, in today's printable kit, so I might use this as a background for some of these. So let me get my thoughts together, and one thing I do want to keep is as much of this as possible. I'll probably decorate a little bit, but since I put this in here and it mostly got covered up on this side, you can barely see it. I want it to be featured in some way. So I'll be back in just a minute. All right, guys, I have been a long time deliberating over what I want to do. This was not as easy as I thought it was going to be, but I think it's just because I'm overthinking it. So let me show you. I do want to make a tag with this. I may round the corners of this. I think that's what I'll do. I have my quote. And I cut out one of the digital pieces here, and I'm going to ink this up, and that's going to be another tag. And then I have this, I tagged the top, and I'm going to put a little pocket on the back. And I have my receipt here. The only thing is it's a bit delicate. I could go ahead and just kind of mat it a little bit with this digital, glue it down. It's got great space on the back for writing, and then go ahead and cut it out and fold it, all that good stuff. I think that's probably what I'm gonna do. And then lastly, like I said, I didn't want to decorate this up too much, but I'm going to put this little strip in here, digital strip, and this down here, and leave the rest as writing room. And then on this side, I'm just going to add a teeny tiny collage at the bottom here. So I am going to go ahead and I'm going to do all that in a montage. All right, guys, I'm just going to put the finishing touches on here, which is going to be the day number. And then I've got this little piece of linen I'm going to put to the back of this. There we go. And a little glue there. There we go. So we have our pocket here. I think I'm gonna add something, maybe like a little fussy cut or just something to kind of weigh this down a little bit so it'll stay closed. But we have our writing space in here, our little cluster at the bottom. Oops. And this tag, I end up putting this cute blue trim. And then we have our vintage receipt backed with a digital. I was originally going to have a beautiful border on this until I realized how tight a pocket this is. This barely goes in. I even had to trim it down, the original receipt, slightly on the sides. But it does just barely fit in there. But that will go in our pocket. We have this tag here with our quote of the day. And I just fussy cut this shell here, which was part of another piece of ephemera. I think it was like a small ATC card. So we have that. And then another journaling tag. And this was made out of that long distance telephone invoice from the 40s. A little starfish piece here. If you look at it closely, you'll see that it's a date, but if I just look at it from far away, I thought it looked kind of like coordinates, like longitude and latitude. So I put that there. It's not important whether it is or isn't, but I thought it would be cute. So I also have that. So I've got 3 tags in here. So that is my day 8. I am going to go ahead and get set up for day 9 and maybe be a little better prepared in what I'm actually going to do on those pages. All right, so for this prompt postcard, we have, like I showed before, this beautiful digital paper. This is postcard at the top here. We have these pieces, which I definitely think I want to do a double pocket on this side with these 2 postcard pieces. Alternatively, of course, you could glue them back to back and have a replica postcard, but I think I want them as pockets. And then there's this piece, which is another postcard here. It's got this lovely ocean scene mirroring what we did the day before. And yeah, just a bunch of cute things. This is beautiful. This is our quote for today. Let us come alive to the splendor that is all around us and see the beauty in ordinary things. Now I did swap out. This was supposed to be day 8's sentiment, but I really wanted it for this. So in addition to these little collage pieces here, I actually have pieces cut out of old postcards. These came out of a antique scrapbook. So I have a few pieces here that I thought I might be able to work with. Just going to have to see which of these really goes with the colors of this spread. But these are all from old postcards. So I thought that would be a great way to add some beautiful, authentic ephemera, while at the same time including these beautiful digitals that Debbie gave us. So I'm going to go ahead and get things inked up, and I'll show you how I want to assemble my page. All right, guys, I have some things blocked out. I know I absolutely want to do this. And I know I want this as a pocket, as double pockets. I've gone ahead and punched little thumb holes and inked them up. I know I want this at the top. And I think that I definitely want to use this as a photo frame type deal for this as a journaling card. But I know I need a layer separating the 2 of them. So I'm thinking maybe book page. So I'm going to go ahead and get these things glued down and experiment a little with this. All right, so this is all glued down, the pockets, and this at the bottom, I added a little bit of some sheer ribbon here. This is quickly shaping up to be my absolute favorite spread and prompt of the whole Junk Journal July so far. Okay, so here's where I've got with this. I have this digital book page here that I thought would be really cute. I love the little flag end here. And then I was thinking of leaving this sticking up as a tab. I could put fabric, lace, I'm not sure yet. But I thought it needed a little bit more. So I do have this big bag of fibers that I am considering finding some great pieces here and making a little nest behind it right here. So let me see if I can get that to work out. All right, moment of truth. This definitely was a little tedious to put together, right? And hopefully it will be enough glue to really sink through the fibers and connect everything. All right. I really want to give it a lot of glue. Let's see if the finer points will be glued down. All right, I think I'm going to absolutely love that. I am going to set this under something really heavy for now, and then come back to it and see if it needs more glue. All right, guys, I'm just going to take you on a little tour of what I did. I have this piece here, which it ended up pressing down really well. I wrapped a little bit of vintage table runner over it with a couple of staples. And I've got all this great texture here. And I really like how that came out. This is going to get just paper clipped right to the side of the page like that. These I think I can take the clips off of. This was a piece of postcard here. And all I did was glue it down to make a little tuck spot. And I have my sentiment, a little tag here. Then on this side, we've got this cutie here. I've got a little word here, some sheer ribbon. And then I've tucked in, this is actually a piece of postcard. This is from the kit. I just tucked this over the edge. I've got some journaling space in there. And then this is a little trifold journaling spot. I'm kind of sad that it's like just plain white inside, but I can remedy that later. This is just to give me something to stick in the pocket. And I love that I could put that piece of postcard on there. So let's get all the rest of my pieces back in. I like that these kind of help everything stay tucked in nice and tight. And again, that's going to be clipped over here. I'm almost considering leaving this tag out or maybe putting it back there. I think that's probably a little bit better. Then I've got this. Yeah, I really like it. I think this is probably my favorite spread so far. So I know I did a lot of that work off camera today, but it took me a while to make my decisions, and that will save me a lot editing in post. So I really appreciate you guys coming along with me and participating and leaving your comments and leaving likes. It really does help. Next video I will be showing you and giving you the details of the giveaway that is associated with this. I know it's kind of taken me a while to get everything together, but I will be sharing all the details of that in the next Junk Journal July video. I think that's it for today. I'm excited to see what tomorrow has in store. Thank you guys for joining me. As always, God bless you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!